we're here to talk about this project that you're doing with Will Ferrell.
Yes.
And you two have such a unique chemistry and relationship that just goes back. Had you worked together before SNL, or was
No.
SNL the time that you came together?
Oh, that was the time we came together. I worked at it was a Melrose Baking Company, and Will was in the Groundlings Comedy School across the street, and we had a mutual friend named Patricia Cotter, and she said, Molly, I really think you're going to get along great with this guy, Will Ferrell. And I was like, bring him over to the coffee shop. So he came over, and I was like, nice to meet you, and what do you want? And he was like, I'll have a scone and a latte. And then we just started talking. We became friends. We've been friends for over 30 years. And we did click right away, just like she said. And I got on SNL first, and Will came shortly after. And Will, we just right away were like clicked so much and have been really close friends for so long.
And then you're on SNL together and everything else happens.
Yeah, and I really did feel like the press was kind of behind. And when we all first started, all us newcomers, they were kind of like, really hard on us. And I remember thinking, wow, the press is really behind. They're just kind of copying old press. And Will, to not feel bad, he would hang up the worst reviews about himself on his office door.
Oh, man.
Isn't that wild to just kind of take the, to not feel ashamed about it? And I was like, God, good for him. I could never do that. But I remember thinking they're wrong and these people are really good. I'm like, this is good. So it helped me understand the press a little bit where I was like, wow, they're like outside and haven't caught up yet.
I remembered first hearing about Will and someone said, oh yeah, I've been hanging out with this new cast member, Will Ferrell. And at the end of the season, he dressed as a character on some sketch.
Yeah.
And he decided to just keep wearing the costume.
Yes.
And I don't know if it was like a boiler suit or some kind of over-the-top weird costume, but he wore it for weeks and weeks. And a friend of mine said, I saw him at the Natural History Museum and he's still wearing that outfit.
Oh my God.
And I said, I don't know who that guy is, but I love that guy.
Oh
and this is before I knew him.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the character that I know. He loves doing that kind of stuff. And he's really just entertaining himself. And it's just it's just so fun. And he's so creative. And I think Will, too, is more serious, too, than people would expect. Like, we know his big comedy side, but I know his more serious side. And it's so
Yeah, it's a real drag. Yeah, it's awful. No, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
I think what's tough, and I think it's the same thing with you too, is people would assume you or Will are just kooky all the time and over the top entertainment machines. And both of you are very soulful, real people.
Yes.
You have a very serious side to you.
Yes, very.
And do you find that there are people when they first meet you who think they're going to meet the Molly Shannon who's going to throw herself into a bunch of chairs, and then they find someone who's really talking to them seriously about an issue?
Probably, yeah. I think because I think I am more serious. I really like to get to know people, and if I have time, and I think I'm more a one-on-one, and I think I'm shyer than people would think too. But yeah, I do feel that a little bit too. Yeah, and the whole thing too with critics, like what you were saying too, I feel like I'm very conscious too of like, God, you could so easily, the whole like showbiz is such a hustle. And I just don't like getting into that thing of like going back, like, you're good, you're bad, you're good, you're bad. I think I can really repeat like childhood patterns. And so I try to be healthier. When you think about life and how lucky we are to be healthy, I don't really worry about that. I try not to get into that too much.
Don't you think having a family helps?
Oh my God, it helps so much. It's just my everything. Like, I'm just so glad I'm alive to be there and do it. It affects every decision in my life, my children. I want to be there. I love being a mom. That's my number one. So it makes showbiz less, I'm pretty very laid back about it, I would say.
Yeah, you have like a solid foundation, like a solid basement foundation of this is what matters.
Yes.
And then the other stuff can come and go.
Yeah, and I feel like I just don't want to do that to myself, like rile myself up like that, like never feeling good enough or that you're only as good as your last thing. I'm like, enough. I feel like I'm proud of myself and I try not to have to need that so much from the outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just feels so unhealthy. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there can be a nice place to be healthy and be creative and not worry too much about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I worked hard in therapy to not rile myself up like that.
What kind of therapy did you do? If I'm not being
I've
too
done
personal.
EMDR, and do you know what that is?
No, I just said
okay.
Look like I know what's going on.
It's more for like trauma, where you do like bilateral stimulation. So if you were nervous, you do the beep, 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 like the little, there's like a buzzer where you would hold the buzzer and you go back into, you could pick like supercharged moments in your life, like a top 5 where you're like, ooh, and feeling scared or whatever.
Yeah.
And the bilateral stimulation kind of will bring it from like a 10 to like a 3. So you slowly kind of can reprocess these trauma.
Yeah.
And so it really, it's great.
Did you ever do cognitive?
Therapy? Yes.
Cognitive is so fascinating because they say if you have a good imagination, it can be great, or you also have a great imagination for bad things.
Yeah.
So,
that's interesting.
my career is over. I suck. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
All these things David writes to me every day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Every morning.
Just little memos.
Yeah.
But I start to spiral and go down. And one of the things I learned is write it all down on a piece of paper.
Yes.
Write it all down on a piece of paper. Walk away from it for 10 minutes. Come back and then read the piece of paper.
During a worry time.
Yeah. And you read it and like, I'm the worst person who ever lived. And I go, well, no, Stalin was bad. And Hitler. I mean, yes, I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. And then, you
find evidence contrary to the beliefs.
But also a lot of the things you've written down just look silly.
Yes.
Like they just look ridiculous. And it's helped me talk to my kids if they have anxiety.
That's
all these little tools. But I'm always looking for another thing, because I've got those tools, but I'm always looking for the next thing.
Yes, I love that. I love that kind of stuff, though. But that does make sense, the act of writing it, that you can put it aside. And then when you go back and look at it, you're like, yeah, I just read a great book called Social Anxiety for the Overthinker, and it talked about that same thing. And I love that kind of stuff. I talk to myself out loud. One of my kids overheard me. I don't want to talk. They're private and stuff. But I was talking to myself in my office, and that one of them overheard me. And I was like, just going through these files. It was kind of tedious. And I was like, "You're doing a great job, Malls," out loud. And one of my kids heard me, and they were like, "Yeah," they yelled over the house, "You're doing a great job, Malls." But I wasn't aware that I was doing like a kind of Long Island talking to myself out loud, telling myself I was doing a good job.
Lady?
I don't know. It just came out. "You're doing a great job, Malls." Isn't it?
I love that.
But no, I love positive self-talk, creative visualization. I feel like life is hard. Like any tools that can help you. For me, it's exercise. Like I have to.
Huge. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in great shape, but it's not really about exercise. It's about, it just makes me feel so happy, so good. I sleep better. It just makes me relax.
Do you do this? Because exercise releases all these endorphins.
Yes.
And so what I have found is I'll get on a treadmill and I'll run really hard. It's like, wow, I just did 40 minutes on the treadmill, really, really going all out, and I'm sweating, and I get off of it, and I'm euphoric.
Yeah.
I am euphoric.
Ugh.
And when I've been on the treadmill, I've had all these ideas, and it's like, I'm going to learn how to play the oboe, and I'm going to become a really good oboe player. Like, I'll come up with all these ideas for what I want to do, and I'm going to take a woodworking course, and I'm going to build a sideboard and give it to my wife on our anniversary. It's going to be made out of maple, and then I'll play the oboe while she's open. I'll have all these ideas, and I'll start looking up stuff online, like oboe classes, carpentry classes, and then I get in my car, I drive here to the studio, I get to work, and I think, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do any of that because my heart rate came down and all of this great stuff that gets released. So I have learned, don't make any calls.
Yeah.
Don't make any plans after the exercise period. Just wait a little bit. But it feels so good.
Yeah. That is so, I love it. That's great. I love that you have that inspiration, though, and while you're exercising.
If I ever call you right after a workout, just don't listen to me. So I'm going to say, like, you and I should get married. We should leave our spouses and marry each other. And I'm going to take a woodworking course. And I'm going to build you a house, Molly. You're going to be the bestest house you ever saw.
That is so funny.
And then I get to work, and your husband's like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, sorry, man. I just had a really good exercise session. And I love Molly.